What's up? What's up, man? Top of the morning to y'all. Polo Sports Talking ENT here again with another one. Hit that like, hit the sub, comments, do all of that. It's another Polo motivation, bro. Look, man, cutthroat competition. Let's talk about it, man. That's what you should desire. That's what you should want. You should want something not easy, but unfortunately, we live in a society, man, where everybody want to take the easy route, man. They don't want to battle through nothing. Me, shoot, I grew up with cutthroat competition, and that's what I love. I wouldn't have it no other way. I'm talking about it, shoot, around my family, in my family, around my way, where I grew up, everybody competed on everything. Now, don't get me wrong, they knew when to stop, you know what I'm saying? But the essence of competition, I'm saying, is something that anybody should thrive for or live for or get up in the morning and love that rush, you know what I'm saying? Whether you competing at your job, for a certain position, whether you competing, to get a bride or get a female or to get a chick or whatnot, whether you competing to be the best dressed, whether you competing on the court, on the field, uh, in the ring, whatever. Because the biggest competition is yourself, really. That's your biggest competition. That's your biggest opposition, really. And you want your opposition to be as cutthroat as you are. People don't want to talk about this type of stuff. They want to talk about see they like to talk about the winners. You know what I'm saying? When you should be the winner. You should be the one. You should be the one standing in the person's way to get to where they they need to get to. You should be the one on top of that hill that everybody's trying to knock off. And I don't like anybody around me that does not want it as bad as I do. You know what I'm saying? I don't want anybody around me that don't want to win as much as I do. If that's the case, then cool. I'm cool with not having that many people around me. I'm cool with not having friends. You know, don't get me wrong. See, there's some people in society, like most, if you look at a lot of supervisors and you look at a lot of bosses and stuff, they have very, very few friends. They might shit. They might have allies. Don't get me wrong. They might have allies. They might have guys that they associate with in terms of business or associates or whatnot. But in terms of like genuine friends, friends is that's actually gonna be there for you, or somebody that's gonna be there at your bedside, so to speak, or somebody that's gonna render aid. They got very few of those because they're so cutthroat trying to get to that next level or get to that accomplishment. And you got to be obsessed with what you're doing in order to get a profound level of success of what you're doing, if that makes any sense. Like if you if you really take everything apart in the society right now and really dissect it, we really don't have cutthroat guys that are really that do anything. I mean, by any means necessary in order to accomplish something. It used to be like that, but it's not really like that as much anymore. You see very few guys, man, that are willing to, really sacrifice and really do what's necessary to be done. Um, I look at a guy like because I don't want to always use MJ as an example, or somebody from sports as an example, you know. But I look at a guy like Lennox from the movie Belly, right? And God rest his soul. I think that guy he passed away, but he played in the movie Shatters and the movie Belly, but they know him as Ox. And Ox was the top kingpin in Jamaica, in the movie, and pretty much, I mean, he didn't have that much competition, but whatever competition that he had, he snuffed out and he faced it. Now, look, for those of y'all that's listening, I'm not telling you to go out there and and you know move bricks and none of that other stuff. That's not what this is about. But what I am telling you is that the essence of competition, that's what it's about. What you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to be just as ruthless as a competitor as that other guy. If you're trying to win, you should be wanting to dominate the competition. You should be wanting to go. Your competition should be at like such a highest level to where it's gonna pull everything out of you in order to succeed. And sometimes you're gonna stand alone with it, and that's cool. Be cool with standing alone. I listen. You even got the ones that, like, you look at a lot of females, especially like a lot of attractive females on this earth. A lot of them don't really get mad. You know, they get even. Like, they might see a girl that they absolutely can't stand, or a woman that they absolutely can't stand, that'll take that took their man or something like that, or slept with their husband or something like that, and a real beautiful female that's really cutthroat in terms of competition, because females are cutthroat too. Don't get it twisted. Females are really cutthroat. She'll she'll just smile about it and won't even say nothing about it. She probably she probably even knows and been knowing the guy has been doing it for such a long time. And then next thing you know, she'll come out of nowhere and surprise. And I'm not talking about violence, but hit that other female with the okie doke and end up being even more ruthless than what she was, and beating her at her own game. See, like, they often look at a guy like Kevin Durant, right? And they're saying, well, this guy, he's not a ruthless, competitor or anything. He wanted to join forces and all that other stuff. Okay. I mean, you could look at it that way, but look at it this way. If if LeBron wouldn't have did what he did, right, and went to Miami, or any other people wouldn't have did what they did. I'm not just trying to use LeBron as no example, but that's the one where everybody, they focus on as being the one where he led the charge in terms of, okay, let's let's do it this way. Well, and he competed that way, and he made it to where it was kind of like the the norm, so to speak. And so when Kevin Durant did it, and he was able to do it, and he did it better, to me, that's more cutthroat than anything, because he was able to He was able to beat the man at his own game. He was able to beat the man at his own game. And that's what you have to do. Many people aren't gonna like a cutthroat competitor. Me, I want cutthroat competitors around me. You know, uh, if you if you have cutthroat competitors around you, it brings the best out of you. It it helps you sharp, stay sharp. At all times. Um, I look at people that want to take it easy. You know, you know what, man? I'm gonna go and even do the same thing all the time. Like they'll sit there and they'll accomplish something at like the lowest level and think that they've made it. But that's not really to me, that's not really succeeding unless you could do something and really challenge yourself and bring the best out of yourself. Then you'll know, okay, I'm able to handle this task. I'm able to withstand anything. I'm able to go through any type of pitfalls and arise from it. And that's what you should do. Don't settle for no weak, competition or anything like that because that's not making you better. And believe it or not, some people actually do really think that, oh, because you played a certain guy. Let's say you play a certain guy one on one, right? And you constantly beating that guy. You always beating that guy and everything. And you screaming, ah man, you ain't no competition and all this other stuff. But then you meet somebody that's really on your level or even better, and you having problems with that guy. Guess what? 9 times out of 10, because you spent so much time playing with the guy that was not on your level or something like that, and now that you've met your match, you don't even want to play that guy again. But the other guy that's consistently consistently beating your ass, he wants to play you. He wants to keep going. He just as cutthroat. He's cutthroat. He's a cutthroat competitor, just like you thought that you were. You gotta have that mindset. You gotta have that mindset. Not very many people have it. When I wake up, I wake up to be challenged. I wake up to face something that's gonna try to defeat me. I wake up to try to get to look for an obstacle. You should wake up for that. And if it comes, don't duck the smoke. Don't duck the smoke at all. It's about being a cutthroat competitor. Everybody thinks that being a cutthroat competitor is meaning like, okay, in the sense of sports, because I do love sports and everything. Everybody just thinks that it's just going out there, you know, being, trying to hurt another person or something like that. Nah, that's not what it is. We talking about the mentality. It's a mentality that you should have not to lose. You know, I often look at Lil Weezy and Birdman when pretty much, man, they were at the height of their careers. I mean, at the top of the mountain when it came to Cash Money and Young Money and everything. But they had a lot of people that were against them. They had a lot of people that were against them. He uh but at the same token, everybody wanted either Birdman or Weezy on their songs or whatever. But then again, there were a lot of people that were trying to compete with them. And that's how you have to be. Look, you don't have to be best friends with the person or whatever, but you have to develop that level of respect They have to develop that level of respect for you. I don't look. I don't want to like you in terms if I'm competing with you. I don't have to like you. That's my choice of whether or not I I want to like you or not. That's that other person's choice whether or not they want to like you or not. You shouldn't be in if you trying to compete and you trying to win, you shouldn't be in it. If you in it to be liked, then you better step up out of anything that you're doing for real because or just go ahead and settle for being lower level. But if you're trying to really get to the top and be at its highest level or how they say it. Oh man, I trip out when they say at the highest order. Man, some of y'all don't even know what the highest order is. I'm telling you, you don't even know the definition of the highest order. You don't even know what it means to be at the highest order because if you at the highest order, you should not even care about whether anybody likes you or not. And that's what the cutthroat mentality is. You should be so cutthroat to where, okay, look, I'm gonna be, look, I'm gonna win and win at all costs. And if you with me, that's fine. If you're not, then I guess you just against me. Some people actually really believe that if you're not with them, then you against them, and that works out. That works out in their favor. Some guys thrive off of that. Some guys would rather have it that way. Some guys don't want any type of friendship or any type of love being shown or any of that because they thrive off of that. They'd be like, "Oh, okay. If it's just me, then I'll make the best out of being on my own." And see, and some people work good off of that. Some people feed off of other people being cutthroat. Like you might have a guy who's beta as shit, right? He beta than a mug. Ain't never led anything in his life. Don't have no leadership skill, no type of leadership qualities about him. But he runs into somebody just as I mean, really cutthroat, saying, "Nah, we not having that. Put a stop to it. Bring in a winning attitude." Guess what? You end up motivating that guy. He end up motivating that guy. Now is he as cutthroat and ruthless as that as the one that wants to win and want to be front line? Probably not. But the fact that he came in there and he came in with that energy, you know what I'm saying? That lets you know what his presence alone does to people. Cutthroat competition, that's what you should love. I love it at all costs. Man, if I gotta be, listen, if I'm gonna be anything less than a cutthroat competitor, man, just go ahead and I'll just go ahead and quit doing what I'm doing because I'm not with it. I'm not with it, man. I'm not with anything uh, that doesn't involve winning at all costs. You should desire to win at everything that you do. Everything. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. You should be in it to win. And if you lose, hey, go ahead and hold your L with pride. But come back the next day because really, if you're worried about losing, if you're worried about not succeeding, if you're worried about not making it, all that stuff, you got the wrong attitude stepping up in there. When you go to your job, you should be dressed. You should be dressing for success, man. Take pride in your work and what you're doing because somebody is always looking at you. And really, you shouldn't really care about what what people think or what people say, but you still want to take pride in yourself, though. If that makes any sense. That it sounds like a hypocritical statement. What I'm saying when I say you shouldn't care what people think about you, but take pride in yourself. But that's really some people get it twisted. and that's not what it's about. Listen, take pride in yourself, so that whether anybody's looking or not, you don't have to sit there and have to worry about your appearance or about your work or about what you're doing. When people's backs are turned, say, I'm always like this, regardless. I'm always working hard. I'm always pounding the pavement. I'm always standing 10 toes down. I'm always staying front line. I'm always cutthroat. You know, don't let people take anything that you do lightly. So that way, when they come in your presence the next time, they'll be like, okay, yeah, this dude, man, he really means business. Because a lot of people gonna, they're gonna sit there. They're not gonna take you serious. They're not gonna want to hear your aspiring business plan. They're not gonna want to hear your ideas in terms of in terms of growth and trying to get better. They don't want to hear none of that. People want to jump automatically to the results. That's what they want to see. They want to automatically see the results, because a lot of people don't have any type of patience. And some leaders, some guys that are cutthroat, it didn't happen overnight. It may have been one particular situation. It might have been a thousand different situations that said, you know what? Okay, I got to be this way. This is who I am. Okay, I'm gonna turn this around. Don't let nothing stop you. Don't let anything stop you from being as ruthless as a competitor as you can. And don't let nobody tell you that, oh, there's something wrong with being cutthroat in terms of competition. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Back in ancient times, they fought to the death. Gladiators put their life on the line. They put their life on the line. That's why, like, a lot of guys that's doing time in the system and locked up, they'll say, "Hey, I went to gladiator school," you know, and they'll they'll say it with pride because it's honor in that. It's honor to them in that, in going to gladiator school, because guess what? They survived it. They survived it. They survived, the cutthroat type of place. And see that mentality with them, they're able to tell their story. You want to be able to live to tell your story. You don't want to tell anybody that, okay, well, I never went through anything. I'm not gonna listen to anybody that ain't never been through anything, yet alone even never even accomplished anything. I want people around me to give me that advice. I'm gonna pick everybody brain that I can. It's some people that's gonna be harsh about it. That's gonna tell me I'm doing this wrong, I'm doing that wrong, or anything. If it's constructive criticism, absolutely I'll take it. It's a difference between constructive criticism and like I said, people that just want to, and they'll be cutthroat about it too. I'd rather have a cutthroat individual and be like, man, you know what, man, you suck at this, but let me show you how to get better at it. And that's how you should be. But if they just always just telling you, hey, you suck at it, da da da, da, that should motivate you too. And then once you get over the hill of defeating that individual and actually outdoing that individual, guess what? That individual is gonna look to you. You're gonna snuff the competition out. they're gonna want to even become your ally, and some of them will become your ally just to see what you doing, and even try to take what you do and try to flip it and try to do it even better. But then that's when you gotta stay. You gotta stay above them. You gotta stay so many moves ahead that they don't even see. They don't even know what next move is coming. You know, that's why Kareem was so great, because he already saw like 10 steps ahead, 10 steps ahead of what everybody else was doing. You know, that's why, you know, Roy Jones and Mayweather, they were so good. Ali, that's why they were so great, because they already anticipated. They knew what you were about to do. Sugar Ray Robinson, all them guys, they knew what you were about to do. That's why Tiger Woods was always at the top of the hill, because they already know what they had to do in order to prepare. And you know, when it comes to cutthroat competition, it's not something that you could just wake up one morning and just be like, you know what, I'm gonna be a cutthroat competitor. No, that's not the way it works. That's not the way it works. That's not the way it works. You have to consistently be that, because when shit hits the fan and stuff gets tight, and you desperate or something, your back is against the wall, so to speak. Guess what? You're gonna revert back to you not being cutthroat. You're gonna work. You're gonna go back to the natural way that you were. So that's why it's important for you to, stay solid of who you are, even during the good times, even during the bad times. Go through those storms. Go through that adversity. Go through not being liked. Go through not people not wanting to talk to you. Go through you being the only one that people are firing off at. Go through that. Go through getting booed. Go through people telling you, "Hey, nah, I don't want to deal with you." Doors being closed in your face. You being the only one. Go through that. Go through that. That's what you want to go through. That's what you should desire to go through. You shouldn't have it no other way less. You should desire cutthroat competition. You should desire cutthroat any type of cutthroat uh environment, because that's going to better you. But if you never go through anything, how are you gonna accomplish anything if you don't never go through anything? Unless you just spoon fed. I don't know too. Man, I probably know maybe one or two spoon fed people that have ever been around me. Other than that, everybody works for what they got. Everybody does everything that they can to to get that to get that extra edge, so to speak. I don't want anybody around me that's not cutthroat, man. Like in terms of their mindset. And some people take what I'm saying way out of context. Being cutthroat doesn't mean being being grimy and being selfish and being hateful or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? You could be you could be cool as a fan, cool as a fan on high, right? But when it comes to you trying to win something, you trying to dominate something or something like that, you still have a you can still have a real cool, calm, collected demeanor and still get the job done. That's what you're supposed to do. And you always want to maintain composure and be poised. Don't panic about anything. You could be cutthroat and never panic about anything. You know, some of the greats they never used to panic, especially during when stuff was getting tight. Never used to panic. I'll never get nervous. You know, have I been nervous? Yeah, I used to get nervous in a lot of situations. But after you consistently go through a lot of stuff, you don't need to be nervous about anything. Because if if it's not that hard if it's so easy to win and you feel that way in your heart, you'll be confident every single time to the point where winning is gonna be winning is gonna be second nature to you. A lot of people that compete, a lot of people that say that they in it to win and all this other stuff, they not in it to win. You know, they not in it to win. They have intentions. They have intentions, and some of it has to do with themselves. Now, but you got to decide whether or not, okay, you trying to lead a group of people to victory or not. It's just like you look at a guy like last night. I was watching the summer league, and if you really look at the the guys that are playing like in the summer league and different leagues like that, overseas and stuff like that, they're competing as if their life depended on it. Like they trying to get a check, like, and it's sad to say this, but that type of mentality, they don't really have that, in the league. Like these guys are not trying to uh oh yeah, you're not taking my spot at all. No, I got a family that's desperate. They need me. My mom's on welfare, you know what I'm saying? We not doing too good. I got this going on. Such and such is sick. It's like their life is really depending on a roster spot or even at a job. It's like I need this job, so I'm gonna outwork you. I'm gonna do the best at it, and I do whatever necessary to be great every day, to where they absolutely need me. You got to be like that, man. You have to be like that, especially if you trying to get something or you trying to go somewhere. You better not slack off at all, because there's gonna be somebody there. They're gonna slack. You gonna slack off. They gonna take your spot, and then they gonna be clowning you about it. They gonna be trolling you about that shit. They gonna troll you about it once they get your position, or they take something from you or something like that. They gonna troll you about it. Nah, don't let that happen. You gotta have that fool me once, fool me twice type of attitude. You know, and don't give nobody no chance to strike. If you can, cut it off. I mean, from jump start, whatever you doing, make sure you the best and be cutthroat when you competing at all costs. You gotta be cutthroat at all costs. Listen, if you cooking and you barbecuing, say, look, I'm the best at barbecuing. I'm the best at cooking. Shit, there's nobody better than me, and that's that mentality you have to have. But you don't have to even talk about it. Like if you're a talker, then talk your shit, you know. But if you're a person that likes to stay low key, you could be low key and be cutthroat. Some people think that they have to be um as far as leadership, you do got to be vocal to a certain extent. Now, do you have to be so vocal to where you you know throwing throwing people uh putting people down, talking about their personal lives and all that other stuff? Nah. But see, like Mike Krzyzewski, he was a he was a cutthroat competitor, but he always was calm. Did he get fiery sometimes? Yeah, absolutely, he did. He got fiery a lot. You know, cutthroat competition is what a man should live for. Women are cutthroat though too. You know, I've already said that. I've already said that. But this isn't about this ain't even about gender really. It's not about gender. I mean, you should just be whether you a male or a female, you should be cutthroat at all costs. I'll put the link down here if you want to come in and chop it up. I probably put the link in there just a little bit too late or whatever. But if anybody wants to voice their opinion, they can. Um, what I'm telling you is facts, though. You know, it's not it's not an opinion. You can't succeed. uh, Okay, when you talk about the highest order, you can't succeed unless you have that dog in you, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you might be successful in the other regards, in terms of for what it's worth. But to say that, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be the best that there is, the best that it was, and the best that there ever will be. You can't do that unless you absolutely cutthroat. You have to want it. You have to want it to the point where everybody's gonna be like, man, what this dude is psycho, like Coach Carter. Okay, the real Coach Carter, not just the movie was based on a true story. And Coach Carter was, they used to say that this guy was psychotic, but his formula helped to win. So if you messed up, he would make you do like 50 suicides. He was making you do like 1,000 push-ups. He was making you do all this stuff where people thought, man, this is unnecessary for guys that are just in high school. And see, he also he had his own grade point average that you had to see. The school had a requirement, but he had a requirement in order for you to play on his team academically because he wanted you to perform in the classroom and on the court. He wanted you to be a person of good character too. And he set his standards really, really high. But some people thought that this guy was psychotic, but nah. I mean, he had to be that way. He had to be cutthroat in order to succeed. If you mess up, you were gonna get punished. And some people might have thought that it was dictator, but his success rate was was second to none. You want like there weren't too many coaches in California during that time that were accomplishing where he was at the level that he was, and I thought it was tremendous. But when you looked at him and when you knew what he was and everything, you would say, "Nah, man, there's something wrong with this guy. You know, he's too cutthroat." Some even thought that maybe he was malicious. You know, be that cutthroat competitor, man, always, and get yourself surrounded with people that want to be just as cutthroat in terms of competition as you do. You should have everybody that wants it bad as you do. If you got a female, she should want it as bad as you do. If you have a man or a boyfriend or a husband, he should want it as bad as you do. I'm talking about in terms of succeeding, and y'all do anything by any means necessary to get it. Like this video, share it, subscribe if you're not a member of the channel. Till then, it's Polo Sports Talking ENT. I get at you.